What year the worst to be alive? We have different answers for that question. Let us take you to the ancient period. This is not something like a myth, it's the history's worst truth. Welcome back. This is Signature's Life. You may know many kinds of years and dates of the things that happen to you or in the world. But have you ever heard of the worst year to be alive? It's not 1349 when the Black Death wiped out half of Europe. Not 1918 when the flu killed 50 million to 100 million people, mostly young adults. But 536. In Europe, it was the beginning of one of the worst periods to be alive, if not the worst year. Mysterious fog plunged Europe, the Middle East, and parts of Asia into darkness, day and night for 18 months. For the sun gave forth its light without brightness, like the moon, during the whole year. Temperatures in the summer of 536 fell 1.5 degrees Celsius to 2.5 degrees Celsius, initiating the coldest decade in the past 2,300 years. Snow fell that summer in China. Crops failed, people starved. The Irish chronicles record a failure of bread from the years 536 to 539. Then in 541, bubonic plague struck the Roman port of Pelusium in Egypt. What came to be called the Plague of Justinian spread rapidly, wiping out 1/3 to 1/2 of the population of the Eastern Roman Empire and hastening its collapse. Historians have long known that the middle of the 6th century was a dark hour in what used to be called the Dark Ages. But the source of the mysterious clouds has long been a puzzle. Since tree-ring studies in the 1990s suggested the summers around the year 540 were unusually cold, researchers have hunted for the cause. 3 years ago, polar ice cores from Greenland and Antarctica yielded a clue. When a volcano erupts, it spews sulfur, bismuth, and other substances high into the atmosphere, where they form an aerosol veil that reflects the sun's light back into space, cooling the planet. By matching the ice record of these chemical traces with tree-ring records of the climate, the experts found that nearly every unusually cold summer over the past 2,500 years was preceded by a volcanic eruption. Much of the world went dark for a full 18 months as a mysterious fog rolled over Europe, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. The fog blocked the sun during the day, causing temperatures to drop, crops to fail, and people to die. It was, you might say, the literal Dark Age. The effects of the 536 eruption were compounded by eruptions in 540 and 547. And it took a long time for the northern hemisphere to recover. The late Antique Little Ice Age that began in the spring of 536 lasted in Western Europe until about 660, and it lasted until about 680 in Central Asia. This period of cold and starvation caused economic stagnation in Europe that intensified in 541 when the first bubonic plague broke out. The plague killed between 1/3 and 1/2 of the population in the Byzantine Empire or Eastern Roman Empire. However, we now know at least one of the reasons people in 536 couldn't even see their shadows, even at noon.